welcome back to Comic Beyond. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Boba Fett, Twin Engines of Destruction. So, after rereading this, I've found out this is probably one of my favorite Boba Fett stories. So just hopping right into it, it's the original Dark Horse comics from the 90s. I think it's from let's see here, 97. So this is still when Dark Horse was doing the Star Wars comics and putting out some pretty cool stuff. So what this is it's after Dengar's has saved Boba from the Sarlacc pit. So Boba's trying to get everything back together again. Well, Dengar discovers that there's somebody running around dressed like Boba Fett, calling himself Boba Fett, and taking the bounties that Boba Fett would normally take. And so when Dengar learns of this, he runs back to his bro and he's like, "Hey Boba, so you might have somewhat of a problem now that you're back because there's this dude saying he's you, using your armor, and everybody thinks it's you, so they're giving him, your bounties." And he's like, what do you want to do? So Boba's like, yeah, I don't sit too well with Boba. So Boba sets up like a trap for this guy, and so it ends up, of course, so you got two Boba Fetts basically fighting each other, but Boba Fett's so badass in this. So this young kid, running around dressed like Boba Fett, thinking he's hot stuff. Boba's like, no, you called me a fossil, but you should have probably learned from that fossil. So Boba puts his blaster to his head, and dude causes an explosion. And so the guy thinks he's gonna get the upper hand on Boba, so Boba shoots these darts at him, and they're like toxin darts. So the dude falls out of the sky, and he's tripping out. So Boba removes his helmet to see what he looks like. And he's like, "Yeah, you're not me, and you never will be." And so the guy's jetpack got damaged when he fell or in the explosion. So it's gonna explode. So this guy, he's got the neural toxin in him, so he can't really move, or he's gonna die soon if he doesn't take these vials. So Boba sits down 3 vials, and one of them's the toxin antidote, and so Boba leaves the dude there, all beaten up and bruised and all that stuff, and his jetpack's about to explode. And Boba's like, so if you want to survive, you better pick the right choice. He's like, I'm leaving it up to you. So he literally strips the dude of his armor, and he leaves. And so Dengar's like, I think you might have changed a little bit, Fett, because you let him, you gave him a chance to live. And then in the last couple panels, you see Boba turn and look at Dengar. He's like, "Who said I let him live?" Or who said I gave him a chance? And in the last panel, you just see this guy's, broken arm sticking out of some rubble. So saying that he didn't choose wisely, so he didn't get the formula to save himself. I know I'm laughing at it, but this is the Boba Fett that I kind of miss right now because the show is character-wise a little different. But I like old canon Boba Fett. I mean, I like new canon Boba Fett, but this is the Boba Fett I think about. So getting into the comic, that's the story. The comic, the artwork's great. I love the 90s Dark Horse comic art. And if you ever read Dark Horse comics, I don't know if they rotated like just a lot of the same artists or what, but a lot of their comics kept the same style almost for their stuff. But yeah, I almost forgot I had this. I was going through my stuff and dug this out, and I was like, hey, the show's out. It's a really cool Boba Fett story. So I wanted to cover it. But I really enjoyed it. Artwork's great. Has some good character moments. in between the story with Dengar and Boba. Like there's a scene when Boba don't have his armor on. What I like about this, it's still consistent with what we know of Boba, because you never saw his face. You know, you didn't see his face in the original movies. You didn't really see his face in these comics that they put out. You didn't start seeing his face until, you know, Lucas gave him one, and it's the face of Jango Fett, basically. And he always kept his helmet on. He was a mystery. And in this, you know, he's all bandaged up because he's scarred from the Sarlacc pit. Well, that's how they get away from him being out of his armor and nobody seeing his face, because he's basically walking around kind of like a mummy when he doesn't have his armor on. So I enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite issues. It's like a one shot. It's only one issue. It's like it says it right on the front page. It's 32 pages with no ads. So you don't have to worry about none of that kind of stuff. But if you can find it at your comic book store, I recommend picking it up for a few bucks if they got it, or finding it online, especially if you are enjoying the show and you kind of want to see some old Boba Fett stuff. Highly recommend it. I enjoyed it. Very simple story, fast read. You can read it in like, you know, just a few minutes. But that being said, I want to throw out some content for the show. One of the best stories, Boba Fett wise. So sorry it's been a while for a video. Things have just been crazy, but I'm gonna try to get back in the swing of things. So that being said, that's this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.